donated many. So if we have the capacity, we should utilize all that capacity to serve Krishna. We are lacking the capacity, let us not lack the desire to serve Krishna. Desire is very much appreciated by Krishna. And then Sukadeva Goswami is saying, oh Maharaj Parikshit, descendant of King Bharata, Vasudeva could understand that this child was the supreme personality of Godhead. Having concluded this without a doubt, he became fearless, and then he bowed down with folded hand, and then he concentrated his attention, and then he began to offer prayers to the child. And when the child appeared by his natural influence, because the body was glowing with transcendental light, the whole prison cell became illuminated. And then Vasudeva started offering prayers. Now, this is generally not the case that the parents offer prayers, but here Vasudeva understands that his son is not different than the Supreme Lord. And Vasudeva remembered this scene all the time. And that is why Vasudeva at times will get overwhelmed and he will think, oh, Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and his Vatsalya feeling will get covered up and he will treat Krishna with folded hands. You know, when even Krishna and Balram, they killed Kamsa and they came in front of Vasudeva and Devaki, the Vasudeva and Devaki remembered this scene. Oh, he's a four-handed form, Narayana. And they were not able to embrace them. And then Krishna has to say sweet words and cover them up with Yogamaya, and then they could express affection as their sons to Krishna and Balram. However, in Vrindavan, nobody gets overwhelmed with Krishna's greatness or Krishna's, any of the majestic things. Even if Krishna is lifting Govardhan Hill, Mother Yashoda is worried. Lifting Govardhan Hill is so powerful. Mother Yashoda is worried that his hand will start getting tired and his hand will start paining, and she's massaging the hand. And then, Krishna is dancing on Kaliya, a subdued Kaliya, and still people are worried, oh, he's dancing on the snake, he should come out. So Krishna may do anything, but Vrajavasi's love cannot be covered over by his majesty or by his greatness. Their love is always with sweetness. But Vasudeva and Devaki, because they are into Aishwarya mixed with Vatsalya, so they remember the scene when Krishna appeared and they remember, oh, our son is the Supreme Lord. So they treat him like that. On the other hand, Vrajavasis they love the Lord, but they cannot treat him like Supreme Lord. They love him so much, they treat him like one of them. And this treatment pleases Krishna more than all other kind of formal treatments. So, Vasudeva said that, my dear Lord, you are Paramatma beyond matter. And one can know you only by transcendental knowledge. And because you have bestowed this transcendental knowledge upon me, that I am trying to understand you perfectly. So then Krishna says, my dear father, So then he says, my dear father, you say that I am Paramatma beyond matter, I am so much without limitation. But here I am born in your house. I am born in your house with limitation. This is a small prison cell and I have appeared here. You say I am all pervading, I am everything. And then Vasudeva replies, actually you create the whole universe. And after you create the whole universe, then it appears that you entered into that. Matta parataram nanyat kinchit asti dhananjaya. Mai sarvamidam protam sutramani ganaya. You appeared to have entered it, but actually you don't enter it. It is all pervaded by your energy only. So you have entered Devaki's womb, like, of course these prayers are technical also, but like the Mahatattva that enters but do not enter. So for this, you have to read Bhagavad Gita 9th chapter, verse number 4 and 5. Where Krishna says, Mai Sarvani Bhutani and all that. That all living beings are situated in me, everything is within me, I am within everything, and then he says next is I am not in anything. So we have to understand a little technically that Lord has three features, as Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. So as Brahman feature, everything is in Krishna, because everything is in the realm of Brahma Jyoti. Even this whole Mahatattva and the material creation is in one portion of Brahma Jyoti. So that way everything is in Brahma Jyoti. So everything is in Krishna. Then as Paramatma, Krishna enters every atom. What is that verse? Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastha. Sorry. So as Paramatma, Krishna enters into every atom and even the space between two atoms. In this way, everything is within him in the form of his Brahman feature, and he is within everything in the form of his Paramatma feature. But as Bhagavan, as all loving the Supreme Lord, he is there in Golok Vrindavan, he is there in Ayodhya. reciprocating personal love with his devotee. So, so then he says that that is how you are everywhere, and you appear to enter Devaki's womb, but you have not entered because you're already there, right? He's there as Paramatma in the heart, and he's there in every atom. So where you have to enter, where he's not, right? So when Lord Ram has asked this question to I think Agastya Muni or Bharadwaj Muni when he was going on exile, and Lord Ram asked, "My dear Muni, where can I stay?" And this Muni said, "My dear Lord, first you tell where you don't stay, where you're not present, then we will tell that place where you can stay. You're already there as Paramatma, as Antaryami, you are there everywhere." So then further, Sukhdev said that you are unaffected by the material modes, you cannot be perceived by senses or experienced by mind and words. And then he says that uh, Krishna asks, can the three modes bestow some happiness? Can a person be happy by working on the three modes? And Vasudeva says, no, one who considers that body is independent from soul is a fool. Uh, so, although Prakriti is your energy and not different from you, but you are not in contact with it, right? Like the jail is under government, but it's not that the president and prime minister are giving personal attention to the prisoners. Personal attention is given to the children who are obedient. But jail is also maintained. Similarly, Prakriti, the material energy, maintains the living entity, but it's a distance maintenance. The devotees are maintained by the Lord in a personal way. And then he says that the learned Vedic scholars say that all the creation, maintenance, destruction that are performed by you, you are free from all kind of endeavor, you are not affected by the modes, and there are no contradictions in you since modes are under your control. You are not Maya Adhin, you are Maya Dhish. We are Maya Adhin. We are under the control of Maya, but Krishna is the controller of Maya. Mam Maya Durataya. For us it is Durataya, but for him it is his Maya. Just like sometimes bulldog is there. So for the master, the bulldog is like a puppy dog. You know, he says, hey, you sit down here, it sits down. He says, walk, he walks. He says, get the newspaper, it gets the newspaper. So for him to handle the dog is nothing. He just has to give a command. But for someone, you know, who is not the master of the dog, that dog can be really fearful animal. You know, it can really harm him, and because it looks so big and heavy. So similarly, Mam Maya Duratya. For Krishna, it is his energy. He's not harmed by it. But for us, it is very powerful. It's Durga. It is difficult to overcome. So then he further says that, you know, Brahma does the creation, but you are the one actually in you empower Brahma to do the creation as in red color, and as Vishnu you maintain, and as Lord Shiva you destroy. So, and then Krishna asks, oh, if you know about me, if you know how I create, maintain, and destroy, then tell me why I have appeared in your house. So then Vasudeva says, my Lord, you kill demons for the protection of the innocent public, because you know Paritrana Sadhuna Vinasha is a Dushkritam, so you have come for that. So although I know about your glory, and still because I have fatherly feeling, so I want to tell you about Kamsa that Kamsa has already killed your elder brothers, and he comes to know about your appearance, then he will immediately come to kill you. So please do something about it. So although he could identify Krishna as the Supreme Lord, he saw his four-handed form, seeing his four-handed form, he's offering prayer, but still his mind is, you know, divided, that, you know, Kamsa will come and harm. So this is a very special feeling. It can be experienced, but not easy to theoretically understand. Prabhupada gives the example for this. Prabhupada says that we know that our ISKCON society and all our activities are under the protection of the Supreme Lord. But still we are little concerned, we are little worried, we are little fearful about devotees and our vision. So this is the same feeling as was there. So similarly, when we preach or we do something, we know that Krishna has told that Name Bhakta Pranashati, he will protect us. But still we have little uncertainty how Krishna will protect. Whether something bad will happen to devotees, something bad will happen to us. So this kind of uncertainty and fear comes at times. Although we have faith that Krishna will protect his devotees. So Vasudeva is feeling the same thing. And then Sukadeva Goswami continues that there are prayers which are offered by Mother Devaki. So Devaki was afraid of Kamsa and she started offering prayers to the Lord. So Devaki was thinking that, you know, he's my child. He has appeared as the Supreme Lord, but still is my child. So what I will do, that Lord get controlled by his devotee's prayer. So I will also offer prayer, and in this way I will control the child and ask my desire, and I will protect the child. So these are very mixed emotions, and at a material level they cannot be understood because we understand Krishna is God, is all powerful, and he is the maintainer, creator. But here, father and mother who are thinking in the way that Krishna is dependent upon them. So, their emotions are not so easily understood. And that is why the medium of understanding these emotions is service. Sevan mukhohi jivvado swayam eva spurtiyada. So in Krishna consciousness, the emotions are experienced through the medium of service. Like, for example, deity worship. So when you worship the deity, we know that deity is the Lord. It's all powerful, but still we care for the deity as we care for the child. So the Supreme Lord, Almighty, all powerful, omnipresent, omnipotent Lord, puts himself under our care. And actually, he depends on us to feed him, to serve him, to put him to bed. He's maintaining everything, the whole cosmic manifestation, but still in his deity form, he has come to reciprocate affection with us so that we can develop feeling for him. That's the main purpose. The main purpose of coming in the deity form is to allow us to develop feeling for him by rendering very close, intimate service. So although we pray to deity, but we also serve the deity and we also care for the deity and protect the deity. We pray to the deity and we protect the deity. How do we both the things together? But we do it because there are feelings like this. We know he's the Supreme Lord, but we also feel that he needs our protection. And Lord relishes this emotion very highly. So Mother Devaki is also thinking like that no matter who is that, he may be Supreme Lord, but he's my son. I need to protect him. And how do I protect him? I will offer prayer and I will please him. And when he's pleased, then he'll fulfill my desire and I will hide him. So Devaki Mata says, my dear Lord, everything is coming from you. You are the origin of the cosmic manifestation. You are Abhyaktam, you are Adyam, you are Brahma Jyotir, you are Nirgunam, Nirvikaram, Sattamatram, Nirvishesham. All these adjectives she gives. And he says, you are not destroyed even during annihilation. So where is fear for you? You are never fearful. After annihilation, you remain as Ananta. And time destroys everything, but you alone remain. And everyone fears time, but that time is your sister. Sometimes even the greatest of the people, they are killed by time. I mean, some people may say God exists, doesn't exist, but nobody can deny God's presence in their life in the form of time. When the time comes, time separates everyone from everything they claim to possess or to own. So time becomes very fearful for the people who are going to leave this life. And that time can come anytime. So that time form is your form. That is your Shakti. And this creation works under the control of the powerful time, which is your another form. And then he says, but those who took shelter of you and those who see you face to face become fearless. So although no one in the material world is free from birth, old age, disease and death, even by fleeing to various planets, but you have appeared now on this planet, and by seeing you, death is fleeing in fear of you, and the living entities, they have obtained shelter at your lotus feet by your mercy, and they are resting in full mental. Mother Devaki's prayer, and it says that your devotees, you and your devotees are fearless, so why are you keeping me in fear? I'm afraid. So please give me protection from Kamsa. Mother Devaki is pleading. She is trying to protect Krishna and she is asking for protection from Krishna. So your form as Lord Vishnu is appreciated by the yogis in meditation. So, then Krishna says, if I remove my four-handed form and become child, and you may hide me, but then Kamsa may harm you. Because uh, Mother Devaki is scared. She is saying, because of your appearance, I am becoming more and more anxious. Arrange such that Kamsa will not understand that you are my son. So then Mother Devaki is saying that, oh my Lord, this form is unnatural for this world. Please withdraw this form so that I can hide you. So she says that the entire material creation exists in you. After annihilation, all the universes they reside in you. And now you have appeared through my womb, who is a simple lady. Nobody will believe it. People will not be able to believe it after. So please, you take this form of an ordinary child. So I'll hide you. I will make some arrangement for your protection. So like this, Mother Devaki's emotions are being reflected in her prayers. When she is seeing the full majestic form of the Lord, she is understanding that Lord is supreme. He is the creator and maintainer and destroyer of the entire universe. Still, she has the feeling and the desire to offer him protection. So after Lord hears all these prayers and requests, then what happens? Then he started speaking. Now, no newborn child speaks, but the Supreme Lord speaks. And the Supreme Lord says that, my dear mother, please know that previously I have come here to remind you and to remind you that I am the Supreme Lord coming as your son. Because in the Swambhu Manvantar, you were Prishni and my father was Deva Sutapa. And both of you underwent very severe austerities by controlling the senses, and you endured rain, wind, strong sun, scorching heat, severe cold, and you controlled your breathing. You ate only dry leaves and breathed air, and this way you cleanse your mind from all dirty things. Austerity cleans the mind. So if our mind is too distracting and too disturbing, we should take to some austerity, waking up early, chanting more rounds, serving the Vaishnavas. Then the mind becomes pacified. Mind cannot become pacified by any amount of just intellectual counseling alone. That's also required, but by engaging in austerity or engaging in service, mind actually becomes purified. So for 12,000 years you perform tapasya, and after austerities, when I appear to give you darshan, then you express that you should get a son like me, but then no one likes me, so I only agreed to become your son. And you did not desire liberation. So then I came as Prishni Garbha. You Prishni Garbha. In the next millennium, you appeared as Aditi, and my father became Kashyap, and I appeared as Vamanadev. And now this is the third time I'm appearing because you have become Devaki and my father has become Vasudeva. So I wanted to remind you of my previous birth so that you can understand that I am the Supreme Lord. And both of you think of me as your son, and in this way you will achieve the highest perfection. So this is the dialogue happening in the prison cell. And actually for 10th canto, there are almost like 14 different commentaries. And for each statement and each sloka, there is so much elaboration done by our acharyas in terms of what is the mood and why this has been spoken, why this word has been. But to cover one chapter in one day takes little speed, and I'm going not so much in detail. So now what happens is that after thus instructing his parents, then Krishna transformed into a small child. So after he transforms into a small child, then he tells his father. He tells his father Vasudeva that now you take me to Gokul, and there Mother Yashoda has given birth to a baby girl. So you should replace me with that girl. You should keep me there, and after keeping me there, you should pick up the girl from there and bring her here. So in this way, yeah. So yeah, then he transformed into two-handed form, and Mother Devaki fed her breast milk to the child, and then so that he will not cry in between. She's still thinking she's the mother and he's a small child. So she feeds just like mothers, they take care of the babies by feeding them nicely so that they will not cry during the satsang program. So similarly, Mother Devaki also fed breast milk to Krishna so that he will be comfortable in his journey. And then, when Vasudeva being inspired by Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he was ordered, and he was about to take this newborn child from the delivery room, that time Yogamaya appeared at Gokul. So that's why Yogamaya has appeared as, it's called as a younger sister, Anuja, because she appeared a little later than Krishna, Anuja. So later on in the next chapter it will come how she manifested form as Durga, Vaishnavi and all those. But she appeared. And then when she appeared, by her influence, what happened? That as Krishna was lifted by Vasudeva, as Vasudeva got Krishna in his hands, then all the doorkeepers, they fell fast asleep. They were not aware whether they're living or dead. And none of their senses working. All the other inhabitants of the house also fell deeply asleep because Kamsa had appointed many hundreds of watchmen and soldiers because he knew that now they were pregnant and any time the birth will happen. In fact, the birth happened in the 8th month that is being described with Acharya. So not in 9 months, but it was the 8th month in which the birth of Krishna happened to cheat Kamsa. so, so when the sun rises, the darkness is dispelled. Similarly, as soon as Vasudeva put to Krishna in his hand, Krishna Surya Sama Maya hai andhakar, yahan Krishna tahan nahi Maya raskar. As soon as he saw all this bonding which was there, which is compared to the bonding of the material energy, all of it opened. So Srila Radha Govinda Swami Maharaj explained that when we pick up Krishna, when we become Krishna conscious, when we take Krishna in our mind and heart, all the material obstacles are overcome. No material situation becomes distressful. No material situation becomes troublesome or disturbing or distracting. Everything looks like Krishna's plan for making us elevated. Provided we are Krishna conscious, we are carrying Krishna in our mind and heart. Then there is no obstacle for such a devotee. Whatever may be the place, whatever may be the circumstances, if Krishna is with us, where is the fear? Where is the disturbance? So when Krishna literally picked, Vasudeva literally picked Krishna in his hand, all the shackles, all the bondage of, whatever was there, iron shackles, this and that, everything got open. So all these bondages of bad habits, troublesome past, of our wrong kind of attitude, everything gets cleared, everything becomes perfected when we become Krishna conscious, when we carry Krishna in our mind and heart. And the doors, which were very strongly pinned because Kamsa had made all that arrangement. So everything opened, wide open, nothing. Vasudeva did not have to do anything. Vasudeva just picked up Krishna, everything opened. Similarly, when you become Krishna conscious, all the shackles and all the bondage of the material world is over without our extra endeavor. And then Krishna, when he came out of the prison, then clouds in the sky, they start mildly thundering and showering rain. Why? Because when the rain shower is there, then people close the doors of their houses at the middle of the night. But even if somebody is there somewhere, then they will, hide and they will go elsewhere. Because this is Mathura city, right? If any one person also sees Vasudeva going out of the prison cell, then he may alarm comes up. I don't understand the situation. It's like, it's a tight security, it's a Z plus security zone. It's a heavy duty security. And Vasudeva is going out, and one person of Mathura sees, because Kamsa has many, many, what you call, jasus or guptachar, or what do you call in English?
Spice.
Spies also. Yes, spies also. So one person sees, then the mission is failed. So that's why the clouds came. The clouds start thundering so that nobody hears, nobody is able to see, and showering happened a little bit so that everyone is in a safe shelter. So they were all assisting Krishna in their plan. And then Anantashna came. Anantashna came over Vasudeva and Krishna to give him protection from these rains which were happening. And in this way, uh, because the rains were happening, river Yamuna became filled with deep water, fearing, foaming with fierce whirling waves. And believe me, for each of these ones, especially we can hear his Holiness Radha Maharaj lecture, so amazing. For each statement why Yamuna was flooding, why the clouds were thundering, he will give at least 10 reasons from different acharyas' commentaries why this was happening. Because everything is there and everyone wants to serve Krishna. So cloud is serving Krishna because he understands Krishna's name will be compared to me only. He will be called as Ganesham. So he's very happy that I will be identified and my color Krishna will take. Megha Shyamalam. So cloud is very happy. And River Yamuna is there. River Yamuna understands that in future Krishna will marry Kalindi, one of the wives of Krishna. So he understands, and she understands Krishna will perform so many pastimes, and he will marry me. So she is showing her prowess, to impress Krishna. So this she is foaming with fiercely whirling waves. But then, as a chaste lady, make all arrangement for the husband. Similarly, when Vasudeva appeared, then just like the Indian Ocean gave way to Lord Ramchandra, similarly Yamuna also parted and gave way to Vasudeva to carry Krishna from because it's across Yamuna and to go to Gokul. And in this way, when Vasudeva reached the house of Nanda Maharaj, then he saw that all the cowherd men were also sleeping because that was Yog Maya's influence there also. So he went right into the palace of Yashoda Mai, and that's why Vasudeva is appreciated as a great hero because it's a great heroic thing. A Kshatriya going in the middle of the night in the women quarter on the order of Krishna. And how do you find where is Mother Yashoda, where is the newborn child, and what if somebody sees? And if Nanda Maharaj is a friend, what if somebody sees him exchanging the children? Just try to see the gravity of the situation. How difficult the instruction is. You're exchanging the child, you're taking somebody else's child. If one person sees it, it will be a big issue. Right? Was this honor will be totally lost. Kamsa will kill him because he's cheating him, and Nanda Maharaj will lose the friendship because he is exchanging the children with him. So because Vasudev took this risk for pleasing Krishna, that is why he's called a great hero. He's called Shauri, called a great hero. So then he came and he saw that all the cowherd men were fast asleep. He placed, Krishna there and picked up the daughter, which was an expansion of Yogamaya, and then he returned back in the same way. Nobody saw him, and as he returned back, and all the doors and everything started getting closed. And then Vasudev finally placed that girl child on the bed of Devaki. And then he bound his own leg with the iron shackle and remained there as before, as nothing had happened, because they were shackled. Can you imagine? These are God's father and mother. Something happens to us, we say, why this happened to me? How many of us are ready to go in jail even for a Krishna conscious person? But here, God's father and mother, they are in jail. And it's not that Krishna appeared and then immediately they got relief from jail. No, they had to wait for 11 years, suffering in various conditions, sometimes living in house arrest, something being troubled in many other ways. For 11 years they had to wait, and after 11 years, Krishna came and killed Kamsa. So we should know that when we become Krishna conscious, it is not that the problems of the world will just get automatically over or they will not affect us. They will affect us, but it doesn't matter. We have a higher purpose to live. We have higher things to do. We have to serve and please Krishna. That is the goal of life. Troubles and tribulations will keep on coming and going, and we will do the needful to deal with them. If Krishna's parents have to go through so much, who are we? We are conditioned souls who have been trying to enjoy the senses for many years of lifetime. So then, the situation became as before. And Yashodamai in Gokula, she was fast asleep. She could not identify whether the child born was a son or a daughter. So she was fast asleep, and was there in this way returns back. And then in the next chapter, comes us coming and trying to kill the girl child, and the girl child taking the form of, you know, that Durga and all that will be described. And the atrocities of Kamsa will beg forgiveness from Devaki, and again he will meet his minister. He will try to kill all the children which have been born in the last 10 days. So, like that, the next chapter is entitled as The Atrocities of King Kamsa. So, that will be taken by Sri Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu in next session. And I would like to stop here because it's already time. For all of you also, if there's any question or comment or any addition, then I will be happy to take.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much, Prabhuji, for
Thank
a
you.
very elaborated discussion on this chapter. Any questions or any comments, please come forward.
This chapter is describing how Krishna's birth is divine, because here, Janma Karma Chavetya. So karma is described further,
Yes,
childhood pastime, later on Dwarka pastime also. But birth is in this chapter, that how it is divine. Prabhupada writes a beautiful purport. We did not have much time for that. It says, how can an ordinary child be like that? This is Krishna who is appearing in full dressed form, full manifested form. And by meditating on Krishna's birth, we get freed from the cycle of birth and death. That is the power of meditating on Krishna's birth. So, and Krishna appears for actually giving all of us a chance for serving him and become attracted to his pastime. So that is Krishna's mercy upon us. It is not that Krishna appeared in that time and was relevant only then. It's relevant for us even today, because Krishna appears to give us a chance to hear this pastime again and again and become liberated from the cycle of birth and death and become his eternal associate. So this chapter, I suggest that you please read this chapter from Bhagavatam. You might have already read also, with translation and Srila Prabhupada's purport. We just gave an outline of the entire chapter in whatever 45-50 minutes for invoking interest in all of your hearts to read this chapter personally in detail. Maybe with commentaries if you have more time. So if there's any question or comment, I can take. Otherwise, we will stop here, and I thank for giving an opportunity to serve you.
Hare Krishna. Pranam, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, your two devices are on.
Yeah.
I'll check.
Now we have understood. Two devices are on, then one device has to be logged out. Actually.
Nearby device you have to mute.
Krishna. Sundar
Yeah,
Prabhu,
now
am
it's
I
Yes,
clear.
audible?
Prabhuji. Now clear.
Yes, Prabhu,
Yes,
yes.
now clear.
Yes, Prabhuji, Sudarshan Vasudeva Prabhu. Haribol. Oh, he got disconnected. Something else. I don't know whether trying to connect again or. I think it will take time for him to come back. Manibhushan Krishna Prabhu, you are well
Yes,
learned and
Prabhuji.
you can understand, you
Yeah.
can answer his query, there's no problem. And
Okay.
we will
Shivguna
here.
Prabhu, you can do a lot of thanks to Prabhuji because Prabhuji already 10 o'clock now.
Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
yes, it's 10 o'clock. Yes,
Hare
Shivguna
Krishna.
Krishna,
Prabhuji
thank
is
you.
back. Sudarshan Vasudeva Prabhu.
Sudarshan Vasudeva is back. We'd like to hear from him. What is Prabhuji's additional?
Hare Krishna
Yes,
Prabhu, am I
Prabhu,
audible?
please. Yes, Prabhu, we are able to hear you. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Am I
Yeah, we are able to hear
audible,
you.
Prabhu?
Yes,
Please.
Prabhuji. You can hear.
You hear me?
Yes, yes, yes. We are
Am I
hearing you.
audible, Prabhu?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for the narration, Prabhu, of this chapter. Prabhu, the Yogamaya, okay, that is called as Anuja because she appeared in Yashoda Mother's womb.
Yeah,
Or not
yeah.
Mother Nayagis, no?
Actually, Acharyas, I mean, because I did not go into commentaries, but all our Acharyas agree that Krishna was born to Mother Yashoda, gave birth to twins. So Krishna appeared and then girl also appeared. Yogamaya also appeared. And that's why she's called Anuja because Krishna also appeared to Yashoda.
Okay.
But Sukadeva Goswami did not mention about it, Prabhupada also did not. But all our acharyas agree, and in our commentaries like Jiva Goswami's commentary or Sanatana Goswami's commentary, we do find that Mother Yashoda gave birth to twins. That means Krishna and Yogamaya. And Yogamaya appeared after Krishna, that's why she became younger sister. And Mother Devaki gave birth to Krishna. And then how this exchange happened, it's a very mysterious thing. Lot of things, lot of acharyas are given, and there are subtle differences between the acharya thing also. But it is one of the most exciting things. But Prabhupada has highlighted more on how the birth is divine with all the dress and everything. But yes, this is a very interesting section. That's why I recommended that we can read it with acharyas commentaries. And lot of details are there actually. And acharyas say a lot of things. How was they were not able to see the other Krishna, how this Krishna merged into that, and many ways. It's so exciting about that. Garu Samhita also describes that. So yeah, because Mother Yashoda actually gave birth to Krishna and Yogamaya both. That's why she's called Anuja.
I think it's past 10 there, but is that Sutapa and Krishni, Vibarkas, Dashrath and Kausalya somewhere have had the man also?
No. Dasrat and Kausalya are not mentioned.
Not
Prishni and Sutapa, and then Kashyap
yeah,
and
and Vasudeva and Devan.
yeah, at least here.
Thank you
That
very
is how they.
much.
Thank you very much. So I'd like to express my thanks to all of you for giving me a chance and opportunity to serve. I'm very grateful and being happy with all of you. Uh, After I think I gave one on, during Karthik, I think last time. No, I gave overview
No,
also.
Prabhuji.
Overview.
10th canto over, no, Bhagavatam over you done 2 days, no?
Yeah. I gave a few classes on that overview. Yeah, first and second, I think, and then
Yes.
third and fourth or something. So very happy. And please continue nicely. This is very exciting to hear the 10th canto. It will increase our devotion and affection for Krishna unlimitedly. So I have my best wishes and prayers. And
Shivguna Prabhu, you can do a lot of things.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you
Hare
very
Krishna.
much for giving your valuable time for us. It's really a blessing to hear from you, especially this 10th canto. And definitely we would like to hear more from you in future also. Please spare your time for us. And it was really interesting to hear all the pastimes of Krishna. And as you said, definitely it will increase our attachment towards Krishna. And so we'd like to thank you again, once again. On behalf of Kanyadesh devotees, let us express our gratitude to Prabhu by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
We do Vaishnava Pranam for Prabhuji. Vancha
Kalpatarubhyascha
Kalpatarubhyascha
Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Revatipati Prabhu ki jai.
Thank you all very much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving an opportunity. And I wish you all the best for the wonderful yatra. And as I told previously, now as the lockdown is opening, if some of you are planning to come to India to meet your family members, please do make a plan to visit Pune also and bless us for your association.
Surely will be.
Yes.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. We will be continuing chanting for Guru Maharaj's speedy recovery. Those who are available, please be present and we can continue chanting. Anybody is willing to lead?